Welcome back into a brand new episode of Tribal Council Chat. As always, we are your hosts. My name is Bruce Heller,
And my name is Brett Parnell.
and we have another, maybe the first of the off season. Every off season, we usually do a player profile season episode and a season episode.
Not the first, we did the Sui episode.
I forgot about that. Okay. Well, we have either way. We try to do a player and a season every off season. I think
And this is
was
going
Cook
to be
Island
our.
during this off season, or was that during last off season?
That was this one, I think.
Oh man,
And this is going to be our last off season episode because next time we're sitting down here, it's going to be after episode 1 of season 49.
yes, and it's this off season has felt weird to me because we normally just cover so many different weird fun topics. I love off season also, but we had like two separate off seasons because we had a short season to cover in the middle of it. So,
Yes. We covered Australia versus the world, and then we'll do 49, and then we've got some big plans for next off season
but one thing our audience
before
knows.
we hit the magical number of 50.
One thing our audience knows is that you and I get sidetracked very easily about
We do.
Survivor facts. And one rabbit hole we've gone down repeatedly the last couple episodes. I'm pretty sure we've gone down this rabbit hole the last two episodes in a row. Is
I think
talking
so.
about the one and only JT.
JT, winnerless Survivor token teams representing Alabama.
Yes, so we this is the JT episode, which is
It is.
be a lot of fun. He's a huge character in Survivor history.
Huge
Definitely
character.
someone I would call a legend.
Played a great game to start. Probably the reverse of a lot of Survivor players, in which his game does not improve from one game to the next, but rather completely digresses into chaos.
Does it get worse from his second to his third season, though?
I mean, not really.
I feel like the peak dumbest thing he ever did was in his second season.
See, we'll get into that, but I feel like I'm gonna cut him a little bit of slack in that episode and therefore claim that he goes downhill every season.
No, the letter was stupid.
I'm still we'll get into it when we get there, but let's start at Token Teens.
Yeah, Token Chains is the best. And I will say, he could still go downhill every episode. Game Changers could very well have more stupid moments. But the big dumbest thing he's ever done was in Heroes versus Villains, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
we'll save that for the end of like awards or superlatives, maybe of like dumbest thing. Like give out an award for that, the dumbest JT move. But Token Chains, he's incredible in Token Chains.
oh, is he ever?
Like plays the first perfect game we've ever seen, and there's only been two in Survivor history.
There should have been 4.
Four.
Tijuana was voting for
Well,
Lil and Sarah voting for Puff. Or for
Luke.
Luke.
Yeah. I'm being nice to you. I was gonna jokingly ask if Winners at War should have been one, but then I realized that would just be roasting myself. So I guess that's
That would be roasting your favorite winner, Bruce.
I don't know why that popped into my head, but oh well. Oh,
I
still,
mean, my personal favorite player in that season would have gone tied for up one more step, which would have been deserving because she played all 39 days.
I mean, yeah. I can always pull out my Winners at War question from our first trivia episode,
That was hilarious. I can always pull out my Winnipeg Jets question.
which was just incredible. And I wanted to be salty and sad, and I was, but I couldn't help but laugh. Gosh, that loss still burns a little bit, but oh well.
Yeah.
Outplayed Winnipeg the whole game and let them tie it with 1 second left. But no, a lot of JT is with token chains. We talk about best winning games ever. You have Rob and Kim is this top tier. You have D that I would probably put D and Natalie that I would probably have 3 and 4. You don't hear JT in that conversation as often as you should.
You don't, and you really should.
I think it's because he did it with a duo.
Yeah,
Like
I
Rob
also
just
think, and
completely dominated. Kim just completely dominated.
I
So
want to ask you a question that I thought of earlier today when we were planning this episode.
yeah.
Um, do you think that maybe part of that is that JT's brilliant game gets a bit overshadowed because Coach is such a massive and ridiculous character episode after episode in this season?
I don't think JT's dominance gets discounted because of Coach. I think it gets discounted because of Fish.
Okay.
Because I've seen the take a lot that, oh, Fish was the brains and strategy behind that duo. Look what happened when JT played without him or when JT played on his own.
Yeah.
Which is fair. Steven was the strategy, but JT was the social part. JT was building the relationships.
And that's it. Both of them, I mean, Fish played on his own too and didn't go that far either.
Yeah, but it wasn't, to be fair, Fish on second chances wasn't the just absolute blaze of glory that JT went down in.
Right.
Sending a letter with an idol to someone that the only thing he knew about them was, hey, he's a villain. So, and didn't forget an idol at Tribal when you were in an argument that day, and arguments always put targets on people.
Yep.
So, like Fish, yeah, he was early post merge. He did make merge, but like,
Yeah, he did make one. She was just on the wrong side of the numbers.
and JT plays an interesting part in Fish's game too in second chances. Because Steve Fishback, I feel like kind of has like JT PTSD flashbacks, and is dead set on getting Joe Anglim out. I can't let the Golden Boy go to the end again.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel, and they talk about this at the reunion, I believe. I definitely credit like Steven's obsession with getting Joe Anglim out to losing to the Golden Boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but no, that to answer your question, I don't think his incredible game gets overshadowed or downplayed because of Coach. I think it's because of Steven.
I just think Coach eats up so much airtime that it gives the viewers a bit of a different season compared to what the players would have seen. Because, like, Aaron's reactions tell it all. That if you had to live with Coach, unless you were Tyson somehow, Coach was driving you up the freaking wall.
Yeah. I don't know how. Yeah. And Tyson has. I saw a video on his Instagram story of a vote from Token Change. I think voting for Sierra of this isn't personal, but I'm voting for you because, and then lists a bunch of like personal things. He doesn't like dumb insults. So like I guess it's kind of on brand that the two like Tyson and Coach would fit well together. Then they play together again, but
yeah,
I will say with Steven and JT, like they are this. I feel like you can make an argument for Coach being the star of the season. You could also argue that this duo was the driving storyline of the season. Also, they're one of the great duos of all time. Like I love watching, and we talked about them a ton when we did a Token Chains episode. But I'll say the same. The arguments about who should have won, all the Steven should have won people. Neither. It's what I'll say about the Eric move in Micronesia. Neither one of them could have done it without the other one.
That's right.
Steven on his own would not have had and I love Fishback. He's great over at RHAP. Would not have had the social capital or just the relational skills getting along with people to get as far as he did. And we know JT doesn't have the strategic mind to get as far as they did because we saw what happened his next 2 seasons.
Just a shout out to Fishback while you bring him up in this episode. I agree. Either one couldn't have done it without the other. I would have been happy with seeing either or win. It's one of the seasons that I think the final two was easily the best deserving final two. Um, if in a hypothetical world, Jeff ever decides to call me back and put me on Survivor, you know those questionnaires that we talked about last week?
Yeah.
Fishback is one of the two players that I'll have on mine as someone that I think I'd play like.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'd be very social and relational. So I guess original JT would be one of mine.
Nice.
To go a bit newer, Kenzie. If you only look at the show, because I don't want to get up any flack for off the show, Nick Wilson.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that on the questionnaire because then the fan base just hates me before episode.
Mine, I wrote the
Probably.
questionnaire for myself when I applied to kind of help shape my video, and the two that I picked will not change, Michelle and Fish.
Yeah. But no, JT on token change is awesome.
Any favorite moments of JT and token teams that you want to bring up? I know I've got a couple.
You go first.
The challenge where Jeff asks him if he wants his tooth back, classic.
I forgot about that.
And he just throws it. Like, I mean, it's interesting that he makes that point because I always found watching this that I'm like, you never know if you could be getting set up for something to go wrong where it's like you don't want production at that point telling you got to go to the dentist, you're out of the game.
Yeah.
So I totally got that there. Another one that I had that stuck out in my mind is, despite the constant pleading, JT just sending Coach to Exile Island, classic, in the motor approach.
Yeah.
That was great to see.
But
I shouldn't be too hard on JT or on Coach. I found out since then that he's a Buffalo fan.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I did, recently, but not when I watched any of his seasons.
Oh, I've known that for a couple of years, I think.
Makes sense.
But also, like, we talk about his social game. His physical game in Token Change was great, too. Winning challenges, helping pull his tribe through, you know. Like, I don't know. His physical game was pretty strong, too. I think he won a couple immunities.
That's true.
I'll pull up Wikipedia to get the exact number, but his social game was definitely his strength, though. And what's smart of him at Final Tribal, too, is
he won 3 immunities.
Yeah.
And it was the final 3 immunities. So at that point, they claimed basically once you hit final 7, which I believe is the immunity that Sierra wins, after that, JT just wins out. So you can't get rid of him. And that's pretty early in the game for somebody to win out.
Yeah, well, Colby won out the last, 4 or 5 in Australian Outback?
Yeah.
So JT...
There's been a couple cases, but...
JT pulled a Colby, but even later, but just a little bit later.
Which means that JT is unfortunately not in that group that we talk about in the record.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not the final 3. There was a... Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong season.
Oh.
Give me a second.
Hold on.
I'm going to give you the proper stats for Token Pants. It slid down. He won... Yeah, he did win the final 3 immunities. So, hey, I was right without even looking at it.
Hold on. Oh, never mind. I was looking at the Wikipedia voting history, and that doesn't have the Olymp.
Yeah.
Immunity.
I'm on Survivor Wiki.
Yeah.
But yeah, he won the last three immunities, so was able to get to the end that way. Really, I guess to a point that really helps because he's known as that social player to Steven's strategic game. But with that stat coming into final, JT really dominates the physical game of token teams as well. So his game fits with that theory that I was saying earlier about you have to play two of the three elements the best of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue like very few players have not been the best at least two of the three elements of the game and ended up winning.
Yeah, for sure. What's interesting to me too
That
is
would be an interesting episode sometime to look at every winning game and say where did they rank in all three elements of the game.
yeah.
We'll do that fun. Next off season.
I will give JT credit for this in Token Chains too. Is at Final Tribal, Fish makes a misstep and admits that he considered voting out JT had he won immunity at 3.
Yeah.
JT plays that perfectly and plays the victim off of it. And I never would have considered that. Didn't cross whether it's true or not. I think it probably was, but really plays that up of you consider turning on me. I never considered that, and really played that up well in front of the jury.
Absolutely.
So
and that ends up getting him the win. I think the one thing that's unique, though, here, before we move on to our next season, is he does, like you say, get that perfect game. And in the end, despite what some people would say it might be a harder win, it's JT's integrity that gets in the perfect game. Because Taj says if Aaron is sitting at the final 2, I'm going to vote for Aaron. So the fact that he stuck with his number one ally the whole game and didn't vote out Steven when Steven was a bigger threat to him actually ends up putting him in that spot in Survivor history.
Yeah. And the Taj is also an interesting part of that. Like, because she was pretty upset and borderline bitter with both of them.
Absolutely.
I'm curious how hard of a vote that was for her.
Yeah. I mean, she had to pick one or the other, so.
If Aaron had won immunity at 3, she gets Taj's vote.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just meant.
Yeah.
Is that the fact that JT keeps his number one ally, Steven, with him all the way to the end to make sure the two of them that started a duo early on end up having the day 39 breakfast together is what gets JT the perfect game. Because if JT goes for what most people think would be the easier route, he doesn't get one vote.
Yeah. So, moving into his second season, we have
Survivor Heroes versus Villains.
And he comes in on the...
I feel like you're going to be a lot harder on him than me here.
This is the season he makes what's widely accepted as one of the dumbest moves in show history.
And I get that.
So...
I just don't really agree that it's as dumb as people like to laugh at it for being.
The people that say it's worse than Eric, I disagree with.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. So he comes into Heroes versus Villains. Golden boy that got along with everyone. Naturally, he's on the Heroes tribe.
Yeah.
Him and Amanda are like the only two people actually playing on the Heroes tribe. It feels like sometimes.
Hey, someone put a rock in their pocket. That's playing.
Well, yes, but that was on the merge tribe by that point.
Sure.
Suri was I take that back. The Suri blind side was a good move.
Yeah.
And Tom is who had the famous line, tomorrow we make our apologies, tonight we make our move.
Yeah,
So maybe more people were playing than I remember, but JT definitely comes in playing the hardest right away in the Heroes
absolutely.
Tribe, and it gets noticed.
Yeah,
So
it definitely gets noticed, though the heroes are on a bit of a disadvantage early. We see Sugar voted out. We see Tom voted out. We see Suri voted out. And then, but there's still some villains going home as well. And with those villains going home, what do we see? It's all men.
yeah,
And it this looks at least has the impression to the heroes. And this is why I say I'm going to be a little easier on JT than most. Yes, it's JT's idol, but the whole heroes tribe is in on this.
it was his idea though.
It was his idea, but we still have Colby saying, Russell, are you going home tonight?
Yeah,
Go talk to JT. It's there should have
he
been
had
somebody on the Heroes tribe that's good at this game. Amanda, tell him this is a bad idea.
did I, did she say something? I don't remember.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
there should have been if it was totally his fault.
he had help,
Yeah,
but it was
I'm just
his
saying
idea.
it's a bad move. But it is conceivable, especially if you are Amanda, to go, I know how Purdy plays this game. I don't know anything about Russell, but I have a feeling that all these women are ganging up on these guys going home like a Rob, like a Tyson, because I've done it myself with her.
Sending an idol to someone you
It's
don't
dumb.
that someone you don't know or know anything about is already bad. And
Just playing an idol for anybody but yourself is a bad move.
I mean, not necessarily. We've seen someone play an idol for an ally and it work and negate a lot of votes. But sending it to someone on another tribe who you don't know is bad enough. When you know nothing about them except for the fact that hey, they're a villain. You probably shouldn't trust someone labeled a villain.
Yeah.
That's just
I just understand where the mindset was because it is easy to think that Parv and Danielle and Sandra are probably forming Black Widow Brigade too.
yeah. But see, this
But
is why we
instead,
don't make
it turns
assumptions.
out that Russell is forming Russell and the Girls Alliance too.
Yeah,
And this is where JT has his whole game go wrong. And then we finally see people catch on to it with Stephanie Valencia and Krista, where it becomes Russell and the Girls Alliance 3.
yeah.
Because Russell does the same game every time. And if he played again, he would probably do it again.
Wonder if he did that in Australia. I haven't seen his Australian.
I've never seen it either.
I've just watched the tribal council on YouTube and know he went home wearing an idol around his neck.
Yeah, that's very on brand for Russell Hantz.
It's so freaking arrogant. That'd be a fun episode, like top 5 most arrogant things Russell Hantz has done on Survivor.
That would be a fun episode. We're planning the off season. We talked about liking the off season. We're planning it for like the next 2 years tonight.
Well, yeah. The Russell Hantz episode coming at some point, maybe, probably.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Oh gosh, that guy. Good TV. Annoying after a little while. I don't even hate him. There are parts of the Survivor fandom that just can't stand him. And I'm not like that. I'm also not one of the like Russell super fans that thinks he should have won. I'm just kind of in the middle.
Fair enough.
But speaking of Russell, we see a little bit of Russell and JT when we get to the merge.
We do.
Because we saw, and even before the merge, we say JT make what might be on my list the number 2 dumbest move in show history. I haven't plotted that out other than Eric being number 1. But
that would be another fun episode.
Off the top of my head, Eric 1, JT 2, Tyson in the same season as JT's letter, possibly 3 or 4. So, man, the villains tribe was something.
Yeah.
And JT wasn't a villain, but just the chaos of that Tyson tribal. But so we get to the merge. Russell has this idol. Villains are coming for Parvati. So Russell gives her his idol, not knowing she already has one that she found.
Because Danielle hid it for her.
Yeah. But, and then this is where we end JT's Heroes versus Villains game.
This is where we end his game because Parvati plays two idols for fellow villains when everyone thinks she's a target and that they want her out.
Yeah.
And at that point, JT goes home with all the villain votes. And the villains are really in control of the game. It's also probably the vote that does ensure a villain wins this game, not only because JT goes, but my bet is if JT doesn't go, that Sandra probably crosses the floor figuratively.
Yeah.
And plays with the heroes. And maybe we get a Amanda win, or probably an Amanda wins the most likely. Maybe JT instead of Sandra becomes the second two-time winner.
JT winning this season the same and becoming a two-time winner when he did that stupid letter thing would be hilarious.
Would be.
That would go from being what I'm currently labeling as, without making an actual list, the number 2 dumbest move of all time, to being, oh, he took such a big gamble.
Yeah.
So if that second idol wasn't hidden so well by Danielle that Russell didn't know about it, maybe they play that idol wrong, and either Sandra or Jerry gets just as many votes as JT does.
That's it.
That second idol makes a huge difference.
It does.
But yeah. So yeah, Heroes versus Villains, fantastically entertaining JT season. Not the same JT we saw in
No, not the same JT, but I'm still going to make the argument that our next season we're going to talk about is the worst one.
It's probably his messiest, but
yeah,
his dumbest move to me comes in Heroes versus Villains. And his downfall here in Heroes versus Villains kind of shows us it's a lesson in being able to read other players.
Yeah.
And how perception can differ from reality. That just because someone says, oh, maybe it's a girls' alliance, I think Rupert did that, doesn't mean it's true, which is interesting that
I'm so used to podcasting for the challenge lately that I thought you were about to say maybe it's a girls' day.
Huh. It's interesting, though, that with Heroes versus Villains, JT's downfall was reading people and perception, because people was what he excelled at so much.
Yeah.
And that relationalness, and
which makes a massive difference when you're playing Survivor against top tier players than when you're playing against the Token Teens cast.
I was gonna say for a second the difference between playing against top tier players and playing against Coach. Then I realized Coach was also on Heroes versus Villains. So I'm smart.
I knew where that was going.
I'm so smart. But and there's some solid players in Token Chains. You get Taj, you get Aaron, you get Steven. So it's, and I think Brendan from Token Chains is underrated. The cross tribal exile alliance he was starting
Oh yeah,
Never came to fruition, but
which is too bad. I would have loved to see that.
he is the dragon. So Coach called him the dragon, and Dragon Slayer came when Brendan got voted out. So
Yeah,
everyone that's tired of hearing the word Dragon Slayer every 3 seconds on 50, blame Brendan, I guess. I don't know.
I thought it came from some canoe trip down the Amazon jungle.
I'm pretty sure he was calling Brendan the dragon.
No, I know. I'm just joking.
Oh,
I'm just hearing bizarre stories from Coach all season
oh yeah.
that I found out in the media is actually true. There's an LA Times article about Benjamin Wade's canoe trip down the Amazon.
Oh yeah. Either him or Philip, they hooked him up to a lie detector test at some point.
Yeah, yeah, it was him.
Can we do it with Philip? Ask him about his past as an agent? Give Philip a talk show or something. We need more of that guy on our screens.
That would be hilarious.
Have, have him and someone else do like the Survivor version of BB Unlocked that's been happening all summer.
Yeah,
Just
that
do
would
a
be
post
great.
game Survivor show with
Robin Phillip.
what?
Robin Phillip.
Robin Phillip or Karamoan reunion? Philip
Oh God,
and
no. I don't think Brendan can zoom in from a state facility.
not with that attitude.
No,
I also don't want to see Brandon Hantz on my screen again.
no.
When Russell is not the most annoying person from a family to be on Survivor, you know you've done something wrong.
Yeah,
I hope Brandon isn't listening to this show.
I mean, like I just said, he's not really in a capacity to use the internet.
Well, yeah, but they have rec time or something. They have libraries. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've not been behind bars. I don't know how it.
neither have I.
They have computer time, I think.
I think so.
So, Brandon, if you're listening, I don't hate you.
I do know from watching another YouTuber that they do watch Survivor on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock.
Nice.
I'll tell you that story after.
So, yeah, he gets eliminated. His downfall with this season, though, just massively miss in perception and in strategy. And I feel like that's kind of where having Steven balancing him out is missed here.
Yeah,
I feel like
absolutely.
someone that's more strategic, analytically minded, the way Fishback is, would have been like, okay, maybe it's a girls' alliance, maybe it's not. We'll have to see. Like, let's not. He would have been the one to shoot down the letter and say, let's get more information first. I feel
That's
like.
it.
And when JT is left to his own devices, he runs rampant and runs wild. And is very entertaining, but not
Yeah.
a good player. He's a bonehead his second and third season.
Well, while we're here, let's get into the third season.
Yeah.
I know this is the one I brought up last week, but I'll never forget a guy who just decided to strand his tribe on a raft off the coast of Nicaragua. Nicaragua.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It's so good.
Um,
I just want to know what was going through the camera people at camp's heads while this was happening. And the producers that are in charge of everything at camp production wise.
yeah, that would have been fun to know.
And seeing Probst's face when the first time Probst heard about this, when someone walkie-talkied like, "Hey, JT stranded his tribe on a raft so he could look for an idol without being seen." I want to know how Probst reacted to that.
Yeah, Jeff must have died. There would be a lot of great moments to just know what was Jeff's reaction to them.
Yeah.
Um.
Also, though, with JT, how is this helpful? Because the whole tribe sees you go back and sees you go into the woods. You said you were going to get something and coming back, you then don't come back. How does that help you keep your idol a secret? Everyone's gonna, they all know you were looking for it now, I think.
It doesn't really matter if you don't bring it to tribal council.
Well, I just don't. I'm realizing this now. I don't think he gains anything by stranding them at sea.
Yeah,
Because if that don't like if you're on that raft, you pretty much know he's idol hunting when he doesn't come back, right?
exactly.
Now it's even funnier now. There was no reason to do that.
We get a rivalry this season between JT and Michaela. That was entertaining.
That was totally like the flames of that rivalry were fanned and had gasoline poured on them by Sandra.
Yeah.
Because it was JT fussing at Michaela for eating too much of the sugar when it was Sandra that ate it. And as they're arguing with each other, Sandra just turns to the camera and like,
Sandra causes a lot of disputes in this season.
oh, there was the thing with the goat too that she.
That's what I was thinking of.
What is it? They find a mother goat and then its kid comes around at some point.
Yeah.
And Sandra wanted to eat it anyway. And there's a Malcolm confessional where he goes, "We didn't eat it because we're not heartless."
But it turned out that they did.
Do what?
It turned out that they did eat one of the goats.
Did they?
I think so.
Oh, well, I just remember like Malcolm having a funny confessional about it. If Sandra had been in Guatemala, she could have stirred up some chaos with the sacrificial chicken that may or may not have caused a storm when people ate it.
Yeah.
That's still one of the wildest scenes. But
we'll see if the Mayan gods are still out to curse Stephanie in Fiji.
Did Danny not eat the chicken?
Danny did eat the chicken.
Oh, I for a
second, and Lydia ate the chicken. Only Rafe did not eat the chicken.
If Danny had not eaten the chicken, I was going to jokingly say that's why she won. But no, they both did. So
Danny ate the chicken.
That was way too big of a thing. But
that was way too big of a thing. I agree. Because I'm not going to lie, I would have eaten the chicken.
I don't know what I would have done, but them arguing and fussing at each other about it made no sense.
Yeah.
But this isn't a Guatemala episode, which we technically haven't done a full Guatemala episode.
We haven't.
Guatemala final tribal debate. But
there's a lot of stuff that we can still do.
But going back, like Sugargate is wild. Even if it was Michaela eating all the sugar, confronting her about it and start having this argument in front of everyone is it's a dumb move. Arguments in Survivor are bad. When you're sitting there arguing with someone in front of everyone, that puts a target on both of you.
And as Michaela also knows, arguments in Survivor are bad. Arguments in the challenge can be worse.
Michaela's fun, but she just kind of seems to find herself in these arguments a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm behind on the challenge again. So guess I have some Michaela content coming up.
She's playing an amazing game this year.
But JT, you have
Michaela's top for the women in the challenge right now.
You have the entertainment of stranding your tribe at sea. You also had him coming in, by the way, with the reputation of two separate reputations, I could argue.
One positive, one negative.
He's this great social mastermind, played a perfect game. Then you can also point at and say, oh, he's the bonehead behind giving Russell an idol.
Yeah.
That was not necessary at all. But, so, like, he comes in with a target on him already compared to most people on this cast, but he doesn't help himself get rid of that any.
Right.
I feel like the thing to do is like you come in with a threat level already. Just kind of lay low, let things happen. And that's just he comes in. I wish we had had Game Changers Tony and Game Changers JT on the same tribe. That would have been fantastic. But we also have, and yes, I'm convincing myself, and you're convincing me this is the worst version of him because his dumbest move was in Heroes versus Villains, but he has way more in Game Changers that just add up.
And there's a reason you can at least make a rationale for the completely stupid move in Heroes versus Villains. There's no reason to not bring an idol to tribal council when you think you might get voted out.
And there's a whole other big dumb thing he did in Game Changers that we haven't even talked about.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a twist I like that we haven't done since I think Edge of Extinction that I wish would come back. And it's when two tribes go to tribal and vote out one person.
Yes.
We have
I'm glad that's what you said. When you say a twist we haven't done since Edge of Extinction, I'm going, oh no.
No.
Not players getting back in the game and winning the game after not playing for months.
Almost happened in 40, just like 8 votes short. So I guess not almost.
Yeah.
Second place, though.
So it'll never happen again.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have a redemption twist. I don't mind redemption twists, honestly. I like Redemption Island. I just think Edge is broken. It should stop at Merge. Redemption Island is fun because it adds like the duels to each episode.
Right. But if it stops at Merge, no one will be complaining about it. That's it. Saying if it stops at Merge, no one will be complaining about it as if they never played.
Yeah, Heroes for Redemption Island is also fun because people have to keep re-earning their spot every time. Yeah. They're not just sitting around, or they're not just doing random fire token challenges.
Then again, the funny thing is, I compared the dates of them. I could swear, I know Jeff says we don't take any ideas from other shows. Redemption Island and Blood vs. Water were basically started by the challenge like a year before. Or not Redemption Island, Edge of Extinction, I mean.
Oh. Yeah. Because Redemption House, I guess, on...
Yeah, on 3030.
I would argue, though, Edge was probably stemmed from Redemption Island, and they just edited it a bit rather than looking at what the challenge did.
Yeah.
Because as much as props up Survivor and every element of their team, which production is giant if you hear him talking.
Yeah, it's huge.
As much as he brags and props them up as being the best in the business, I genuinely believe that he doesn't even consider looking at other shows and what they do.
I believe that Jeff, when he says he doesn't look at any other shows, but I don't believe for a second that there's nobody in production, in casting, in whatever, who isn't just a huge fan of reality TV across the board and doesn't say, hey, this other show I watched had this idea.
Yeah.
I believe there's probably dozens of people in the production that are like that.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I just don't think Jeff watches other shows. I mean, clearly he doesn't based on how angry he gets when some of his cast members go and play on said other shows.
Okay, Carolyn. He has walked that back, though.
He has walked that back, but it didn't get Carolyn on 50, so...
I don't mean this in a mean way. I love Carolyn. Like, I didn't need her on 50, to be fair.
I don't either. I'm just saying that that's what cost her a spot on 50.
Interesting. But
I don't think she would have done very well on 50, so I'm glad she's not there.
Yeah, the thing is, also just the part of the fan base that doesn't like that he's producer in charge and just like they'll take quotes like that he says and take them out of context.
That's fair.
Like with the thing where everyone thought he said he didn't want to cast villains.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That quote of I saw so many people come, oh, Probst doesn't want to cast villains. Not quite what he said. He said he doesn't want to cast people just to come on and be villains. It's not that he wants Kumbaya and doesn't want villains, but they're focused on casting interesting people, not
Well, he
specific
should
archetypes.
change that since he's cast Kyla, he's cast Rome, he's cast what we've seen so far from Savannah as pregame content.
Yeah. But no, like I say that, and you saw that same quote I did. It wasn't
Yeah,
about villains. It was about not casting to fill specific archetypes.
absolutely.
But people just like to take Probst quotes out of context. So
That's right.
I feel like the thing with other shows, I feel like the fan base I haven't read up on it much. I'm guessing they probably blew it a little out of proportion compared to what he meant,
Yeah, I'd agree.
no, and it's we got distracted talking about bad twists. The good twist that they need to bring back happens in Game Changers. Two tribes go to tribal to vote out one person.
Yep.
There's a plan in place by JT's tribe to try to blindside, I think, Sandra. And both tribes are being cagey. They're keeping each other's target from each other. And I forget who, but someone gets JT to tell them who his tribe's target is. And Malcolm ends up going home because of that.
Yeah.
Because JT couldn't keep his mouth quiet.
Yeah, that is definitely true. But anything else we want to add in this episode?
Let me check the notes I had real quick.
Sure.
He does have an early exit again on
Yeah.
Game Changers. I will say Game Changers dumb move. Number one, not bringing your idol to tribal after being in an argument. Number two, getting Malcolm sent home. Because he just played that tribal horribly, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely
Like
horrible.
his loose lips get Malcolm sent home. Number three, getting into an argument over sugar, because who cares? And I know that you
Sandra
have
cares.
food, and if I was out there starving, I'd probably care more. But don't
Sandra
get into a public
cares.
argument about it.
Sandra cares.
Just brilliant by Sandra baiting
Yeah.
and Michaela into that.
And you know they're both very opinionated players.
Yeah. So, but now that we're through season recaps, kind of just JT is just kind of this cautionary tale. He has this arc from being this beloved winner who played what's still, in my opinion, one of the best winning games ever.
Yeah.
I'm off the top of my head, Rob and Kim 1 and 2 interchangeable. Natalie and D interchangeable, probably 3 and 4. I'd lean towards D3, but it's close. JT might be 5.
Yeah.
To coming back, playing super aggressive, took a high risk move, ended up being a boneheaded move, to just coming back a third time and being a bonehead again, but worse, because it keeps happening rather than just being one really bad move. It's just this weird arc he has. It's just a strange tale.
Yeah, it is very strange, probably one of the notable ones, especially that it's not like he had a bad second season in a season of all winners, let's say.
Yeah.
But, I mean, still, overall, a legend of this game. Someone who, whether it was for amazing gameplay or just complete entertainment, gave us 3 great seasons of Survivor. That's 100% record.
Oh, yeah. And I wish he would have been on 40, honestly.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Whose spot do you give to him?
Whose spot do I give? This is tough because there was another winner that I had even higher. I mean, let me just go to the cast again to make sure I don't say something stupid.
I have a guess for what my answer is going to be, but I'm going to pull up the winners at Warcast just to make sure. Um, yeah, it's Ben.
Ben? Yeah, I would say this. So
I would give Ben's spot to JT.
I give. See, I was between two players, and it doesn't really matter who I give it to, but it's because if I'm casting winners at one, I'm changing two of the men on this tribe. I'm swapping out both Ben and Nick, and I'm giving them to JT and Mike.
Yeah. And this isn't a knock against Ben because I'm I'm not a huge Ben fan like Kevin is. I'm not like, but I don't hate him the way most of the fandom seems to. Like he
Yeah,
played the hand he was dealt really well.
that's right.
So, and like he gets so much flack and hate for he needed so many idols to get to the end. Yeah, but he still played them right. We're talking about JT. That's proof you can have idols and still play them horribly or not play them.
Absolutely.
But when I look at Winners at War, it's just such a strong men's cast that Ben tends to be the spot I give away for men. And if it's a woman I want to add to Winners at War, it's like doesn't even require thought. It's Denise.
Yeah.
Like Ben requires some thought because I don't know. It's such a strong cast men wise. But I give Denise a spot to Tina. I give it to a couple different people on Winners at War.
I mean, if I go medical issues aside, and legal issues aside, because I don't know what happened or where people currently are. If I'm to swap anyone on the woman's side, I agree with you on Denise, but I'm giving that spot to Jenna.
Oh, that's a good one. See, Jenna's another one, but Denise tends to be that Winners at War women's spot that I give away.
Yeah,
But no, so do we want to move into a line blindside first boot?
that we do.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Sure, I'll go. Let's give you someone from every season that JT played on. Your options are for this, and I'm gonna try to not make it with like any player that's like, say, I don't know, a very like set take like a Puff, because it makes it too easy if you're talking to everyone. I'm gonna try to get players around the same, like good players, not legends level. I am gonna give you the names Sierra Reed, Danielle DiLorenzo, and Michaela Bradshaw.
I'm first booting Michaela. I don't feel like just knowing my personality and seeing hers, I don't think we gel well. She seems a lot more confrontational than I am. So, the other two are interesting. I love Sierra Reed, one of my favorite top five, possibly from Tocantins. I'm gonna blindside her because it's been proven that you can go to the end with Danielle and win. Because
Yeah,
Terry and Aris went to Final Three with her, and either one of them beats her.
right. I'm
So,
going to agree with you on Danielle. I'm going to align with her. I'm going to flip this, though. I'm going to first boot Sierra. I'm not sure. I mean, it's hard to tell because the only time she played, she was sick early. But I'm not sure what she would necessarily bring to the game to go far strategically. I'm going to blindside Michaela because I think Michaela would offer a lot to your pre-merge tribe, especially with what I'm seeing her do over on another show that I podcast on lately.
yeah. I have a bit of a strange one for you. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
And I think I've done this before with one other player, but if I've done it before, it was only once. But I would argue in a way this is three different players. You have token change JT, and you're already laughing, so you know what I'm
I
doing.
know what you're going to do. That's a good one.
Heroes versus villains JT, and game changers JT. Because
All right.
that feels like three different players. I think
Yeah,
I've done this with Amanda at some point and
you
did the
did do
three
this with
players.
Amanda when we did the Amanda episode. I'm going to align, first of all, with Game Changers, JT. That's the one I can beat. That's the one who's going to make mistakes. But um, and he'll be confrontational with other players who might be on the jury. But I don't think if I'm in an alliance with him, he's going to do anything to harm my game. I'm going to blindside Token Teens JT. That's the big move. And that leaves me to first boot Heroes versus Villains JT. You don't want to be anywhere near the errors that you're getting in the game from him.
Yeah,
And on the wrong side.
I'm gonna go. I'm going to first boot Game Changers JT because
So we're going to really take this in an opposite direction.
as I don't want to be Malcolm. I don't want to get sent home because Game Changers JT just does one stupid move after another and has loose lips, or gets himself sent home at Tribal because he forgets his idol. But
But
then,
if you
oh,
make it to the end, you're going to win the game.
but I'm not getting to the end because even like, oh, if I'm aligned with him, he's my number one. He goes home.
True.
Yes, I'm still here, but now I have an ally that got himself sent home, and I'm down a number. There's no way I'm getting to the end with Game Changers JT as my number one. There's no way. I'm either going to be Malcolm or it's going to be part. If we do get laid, he'll get himself sent home, and then I'm screwed. By the way, random thought. JT goes home. His bag and his idol are at camp. Can someone go back to camp and grab that out of that bag?
I'm assuming production did it before the players got there.
Because we see them like wear each other's clothes and stuff after someone goes home.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm sure you're right, but that thought crossed my mind. I'm going to blindside early post merge original JT, token change JT, because I think he'll be a good juror. If we're aligned up into that point, he'll vote for me. And
Yeah.
I'm going to the end with Heroes versus Villains JT because there's that one really boneheaded move. But generally, like, he was playing way too aggressively in Heroes versus Villains. He was a
Yeah.
bonehead outside of that move, but that's more manageable. I feel like I can keep him kind of on the right track easier than Game Changers JT, who's just one dumb thing after another.
Absolutely.
Blindsiding token chains is definitely where I'm going, though. I don't feel great aligning with Heroes versus Villains JT, but I can't align with Heroes versus. I can't align with token chains, and I really don't trust aligning with game changers. So there's not a good option here. Because if I align with token chains, I lose.
Yeah.
This was fun.
It was fun.
So be sure to check out all the Reality Realm stuff, the merch store, Pit Stop Pals, Amazing Races coming back soon.
Yep.
BB Brains, Big Brother is down to the final
And
5
speaking
now.
that we have Pit Stop Pals and BB Brains, kind of a neat crossover because it's a Big Brother themed season of Amazing Race coming up.
Yeah.
With a couple of challengers. Natalie Negorote is going to be on, and Kyland is going to be on.
I think we should have had the Calafiore brothers on here.
That would be great.
Running it together.
Yeah.
So, with all that being said, grab your torches and head back to camp. Bye, everyone.
Bye.